morning. How are you?
I'm amazed that I'm up this early, but I am, and I'm not going to go back to sleep. So I figured I'd log in and see what everybody's doing.
And you look lovely today. Morning, Mike.
I'm sitting here drinking coffee on the couch, wrapped up in a blanket. So no, my camera better not be on.
Yeah, I hear that one on occasion. Yesterday I was wearing my I Love Cafe Bustelo shirt, and somebody made a comment on it, and I was like, well, first off, thank you. Second off, I own the pants. Third, wearing them. Fourth, they're jammies.
Exactly. I don't know why I woke up so early this morning, but I'm busy. So I'll just keep going.
Love it. All right. Morning,
morning.
Mike Dunlap. How the heck are you?
Fantastic.
Love it. Morning, Michael Ussery. Yeah, Ussery. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get your name straight.
I'm gonna train you yet.
You will. It's just stuck in my head as the what's it called when you pay usury? Interest. It's stuck in my head as interest now. So it's Michael.
Interest.
Yeah, usury. You know what that term?
Usury. Yeah.
ARY, I think it is. Anyway, it's paying interest. So
it should be dividends, not interest.
I thought that was illegal interest.
It is illegal. It's excessive interest. And then of course, where does hard money fall in that? But whatever. Because hard money is cheaper than credit cards, so go figure.
Exactly.
Yeah, we take gratitudes, in PayPal account.
Gratitude, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, let's dig in. Let's hear some good news. So let's start with we'll start with Bree because Bree has her photo up. So Bree, what's some good news from yesterday?
Good news is I did some lead generating. I navigated through my closings that are supposed to come up in the next couple of days. And that's what I stuck to my to-do.
I love that. I really do. You look lovely today too.
Thank you. I put a little lipstick on. I got a little sleep.
Little sleep was good. I did not get very much sleep.
I'm not working a gazillion jobs.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. That's really good news. That is really good news.
Yeah.
All right, bright and early sunshine, Lisa. What you got for good news, honey?
Am I muted or am I not? Let me see.
You're not muted. You're good.
All right. So good news. I had my meeting with Gary really early yesterday morning, which is also unusual, and I wasn't in the mood for it. And I told him not my day. I'm starting out with a little black cloud. And as the day went on, it kept getting better and better and better. And the little black cloud by the end of the day was gone, and I had accomplished so much. So I don't know what that was all about, but I'm glad it's gone. And it was a productive day. I was shocked.
I love that. And I think the thing that I love most about that is there are so many times for my coach, when I don't want to show up for my coach and I show up anyway. And I don't want to show up because I'm in a pissy mood or, I haven't done what I'm supposed to do or whatever, right? Just whatever. And I show up anyway, and I'm very real, and I always come out of it better. I always do.
Yeah, 45 minutes before it, I almost canceled and just said I just don't feel good today. And then I thought, no, I'll go ahead and I'll have this meeting, but he's going to have to see me with my little black cloud. So it's just silly.
So you know what the problem is, don't you?
What's the problem?
None of you have died. When you flatline and you come back to, your world changes. You have no bad days.
Oh,
perspective. Okay. Yeah, it's perspective. So what's your good news, Michael? Did you die yesterday?
No, I did 32 years ago.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
You would have been a baby.
Yeah, I was 30, whatever it is. Yeah, I flatlined a couple of times and they got me back. The first time, second time it came back, the doctor OD'd me on drugs. But your perspective of your life changes when, and literally I joke, I'm up this morning and haven't hit nobody, still kicking. That's the joke. I died. I'm awake. I'm alive. That's my joke. So no day is a bad day if you get out of bed.
Wow.
So that's the good news. I'm alive.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's all right, understood. Get it. I really do. It reminds me of when I see somebody going off on some temper tantrum over some teeny tiny little thing, and I'm like, dang, your life must be really good because of that's what it takes to get you there. Imagine if something really happened in your life, you know?
Well, yeah, but you got to understand that thing that they're going on their tantrum is not the problem.
It's underneath it.
Right, like we talked about before, you know, that's not the problem. That's just the one thing that popped enough to let it all out.
Yep, exactly. The final straw. And we've all been there too, you know? So, all right. Who are we going to go with next? We'll go with Kathy. Kathy, you there, honey?
I am. I'm getting ready to run out the door, so I'm going to have you on speaker, whatever.
Cool. Tell me, you got a second to tell us some good news?
Sure. I should have been already, but I'm not. Good news. It's all busy stuff, really. I spent a good deal of yesterday doing things like researching more about the smart number and all of those good things. I did go ahead and get it set up. I've been talking to Rob about it for quite a while, and it's like the whole thing. We've got our KV Core thing, and there's like 2 numbers in there. I don't have a clue who they are. It's not me, right? And they're provided numbers, and I didn't know how the Ring Central thing worked with it and all that kind of stuff. So I'm still not 100% confident with it.
You want me to tell you how it works?
Sure.
So you get your own number, pick your own area code. They'll find you a number for that area code. My cell phone is an Orlando number, and my smart number is a Daytona number, 2 different area codes. So I have everything connected to KV Core, and all my marketing and everything has got that number on it, and the EXP website and email. That way, anything that comes in is tracked by KV Core. So once you set it up, those other 2 numbers are what they call a round robin.
Right.
So if someone calls it, you probably won't get that call. It'll go to the next person in line. And it could be someone in Arizona, someone in Georgia, someone in Tallahassee. You never know.
It
So
does
smart,
work that way?
that's the way, that's the way that the
I've
numbers are.
gotten that much.
Yeah, the numbers on there are more of a round robin, so you probably won't get that call. But your smart number is yours only, and everything gets routed through it. So when they call that number, for instance, I do the Mojo dialing with cold calling. That number's given out. So on my Mojo, that's the number that shows up on my dialing number. So if you see the number as an ID, that's the number that shows up. So when they call it back, KV Core registers their number. When they call, it'll record a voicemail and everything. If I don't answer it, it does ring to your cell phone if you direct it there. So it's actually a really, what is it, $27 a month? It's actually a really good process for me.
Yeah, well, everything sounded really good every time I've checked into it. I just was leery of it. And I guess more leery how the other part linked in.
Well, they set it up, and it's all set up automatic. You don't really have to do anything when they're connected in there.
Except for change all the marketing and my information and stuff.
Well, you don't have to. I just did.
But I figured I needed to anyway. If I'm trying to get it to funnel in there and I'm paying for it to do it.
Right.
And one of the things that I encountered so far in real estate is that I've had a couple people get my number that were just weird. And it kind of freaked me out. So I don't really want my cell number on things. I'd
Yeah.
rather, and I set up a Google Voice number because of that, but still, it's still out there.
Well, Google voicemail usually gets spammed.
Mhm.
The reason I have my cell phone on there also, I have both numbers.
Yeah.
If I leave a brokerage, I lose that number.
Okay,
Right.
that's a really
So
good
I keep
point.
my cell phone. Yeah. So if you move and everything's wrapped up in KV Core right now for me, but my cell phone and my personal email is on there also, so they can still find me.
So
Right.
don't tie anything to to a company email. Also, do not tie to Comcast. Comcast is not everywhere. So that was my first mistake, was I had everything tied to my Comcast and I left Comcast. And when you leave Comcast, you lose your email if you no longer are a Comcast account. So don't, tie Gmail, use that, use another number that's yours that you have your portability. It just keeps it safer. That's a good point. Thank you so much, Michael. All right, let me see. Let's go up to Michael Dunlap. What you got for good news, honey?
Well, I wanted to ask you guys, if you had heard of ZBuyer or used ZBuyer, or if you had used Real Estate Faster. ZBuyer has different people, but they send it out to, it could be a mortgage lender or to real estate agents, people that are interested in knowing the value of their homes as potential leads.
Hang
And
on to that.
then,
Michael, hang on to that one for a second, because we'll address that one first. Give me some good news first.
oh, okay. Good news. Well, still things look promising with Puerto Rico. Had a good meeting, but I need to try to follow up on housing and urban development there,
Mhm.
HUD, to see what they can offer to the table and see how things can go from there.
Cool beans. Okay, you're going to be up first as soon as we go into challenges, okay?
Okay.
All yours. All right, Shirley, tell me some good news.
Hi, I really don't have any good news, but
Yes, you do. You got something good, honey.
well, everything that's on the market, you put on the market, it's selling. And a lot of times it's selling overpriced, or offers are coming in over list,
Mhm.
which could be good and it could be bad, because the buyer has to have enough money, extra money in there to cover that extra jingle they're putting up.
Yep.
So you always have to get proof of funds up front that they have the money for the extra money that they want to put up. But anyway, I was wondering if anyone, I have the website and I don't remember where it is now. I can't find it and I'm going crazy. When you do a search and you're searching for either commercial or residential, whatever, but up and down the street, and say it's mixed use.
Okay.
I'm trying to find out not only the owner, but also too their financials. In other words, how much mortgage they still owe on the building.
Okay. We'll come back to that in challenges after Michael Z, because I really want to keep it on good news right now. You cool with that?
Okay, that's fine. Yes.
Cool beans. All right, Nellie, last one up. What's some good news?
I'm here. That's the good news. No, I'm connecting with people. That's about it. Yeah.
I like that. That's a good thing in real estate. The more connections, the better. All right. Since you all wanted to dive into challenges, go, Michael Dunlap.
Well, one is trying to find somebody with HUD, Housing and Urban Development in Puerto Rico. They still say that they're not in the office, that they're working from home because of COVID. So that's a challenge. Sent out a couple of emails, made a few phone calls yesterday. I'll keep following up with that.
Hey, have you done Upper Align? We have a bunch of people straight Upper Align that are living in Puerto Rico that might be able to connect you in. Have you tried that?
No, I have not.
Okay, so let me see. I know Jay Kinder's there a lot. Maybe Michael Reese also. And so just literally go straight up our line, because the people closer to the top of the line. And what I did was I just went on, I found my upline, and through EXP, you can find that. And then from there, I went on Workplace and some other places, and I just started workplacing them, or I went to the EXP directory, found out their information and texted them to get meetings. And I would literally text them of, I got a deal going on in Puerto Rico and I need this, who do I talk to? And you'll get somebody somewhere that will help you.
Got it.
That goes,
Okay.
goes straight up the line.
That was one. The other thing is, I've been looking at trying to find different services to help out with leads or to help with calls and things like that. I was wondering if anybody had heard of either ZBuyer or of Real Estate Faster.
I have ZBuyer.
Yeah, you do? What do you think about it?
did. I do not anymore, and they call me every week and want me to come back. And the reason I stopped them is it's not cheap, and they give the leads to so many different agents that if you don't call them right away, you don't get that. So I just found it to be just like any other service.
Okay. And Real Estate Faster is a little different, but they make the calls for you. They say that they'll set up some appointments for free to just get you going. I don't know if they're legit or not, so I'm just trying to find out if anybody used them before.
Why would you want somebody else to make your phone call for you?
I don't like making phone calls.
Well, remember, that person on the other end just trying to set an appointment, and they're not going to vet that person. You're going to go out and waste your time.
Okay, fair enough.
For me, I got people call me all the time trying to send me referrals, and then I question them, and all they do is they got it off of the referral off of Zillow or somewhere that they got, or sending it to me and wanting 25% of it, and they've never talked to that person or found out if it's a good number or not. So I don't take them unless it's someone that's giving me a name and a number, and it's someone they know and they've talked to them. I'll take that, but I won't take any of that crap. The other problem is I get calls all the time. People wanting to set appointments for me, whether it's an insurance, whether it's another agent looking to recruit or whatever. My attitude is, you're too damn lazy to pick up the phone and call me. You don't need me. This is a sales business. This is a sales business. And for you want to do business with me, you pick up the phone, you call me, you have a conversation, and we'll talk. Now, if we've had that conversation and you got an assistant call me, that's a different story. But you want to make contact with me, and don't text me, don't email me. I don't deal with you. Until we've had a conversation, texting and email is out of the question. That's not sales. That's just spamming. That's my personal opinion. So for me, when I pick up the phone and I make 200-300 dials in a day, and I leave 80% of those as voicemails, I get 1 or 2 calls back off the voicemail. I speak to 5 to 10 people, and I set an appointment or a follow-up on 1 or 2 of them. Now I've got a contact with a name, and I've got their number, and I've got their email. I got all the information that I need to do business with them and call them up and nurture them. Called a guy yesterday on a follow-up, and I had talked to him a couple months ago and about 3 months before that. And he said, no, Michael, we're not going to sell yet, but you know what? You're going to be the first one I call because you keep following up with me. So having that conversation works. If you do your KV core and your watch and monitor everything, most of your emails will never get open. But if you call and leave a message, they're likely to call you back. Even statistics show that. That's my personal opinion.
So I'm going to come along with Michael's opinion and a different twist on it, but some of the same stuff. I also make phone calls, although I do text now. And I text because the open rate is higher than the phone call rate. But they told me, I heard this when I first got into real estate: he who controls the lead controls the business. And so calling's not the only way to go get business. All it is a very fast way to go get business. So there's a billion different ways that you can do it. It's a numbers game, and you got to get in front of the right amount of people. Yeah. And it's the thing also, Michael Dunlap, that 90% of the agents hate doing. It just is. So it's the beast of kind of, working through that and having somebody get this straight so that you can get out there and go talk with as many people as humanly possible. I know people use things like Opcity also. And typically what happens is that you end up, can you build a business off of it? Yes. Will you get little tiny paychecks? Yes. You better scale and you better learn how to capture the other business on the other side of it. So you know, that's just what it looks like. But the problem behind it is because you don't know how to go make your own leads, because you've relied on a service like that. And I'm not saying you, I'm saying anybody that relies on services like that, because they don't know how to make their own leads, they're tied. And they're tied and they're fearful because they don't know how to go create business. And once you learn how to go create business, the whole world's open up to you. When I moved from Washington to Virginia, I had zero fear, even though if it didn't work out with me going back into corporate, I was like, I'll go back into real estate. And my husband's like, well, how soon will you have income coming in? I'm like, 4 months, 3 months, whatever. Probably 3 months to get it up and going, and another month or so to get it to start closing and the train to start rolling in. But there's zero fear because I can live anywhere. And so we have.
Well, I will add this to it, Mike. I did open houses. I was great at them. 32 signs, the whole 9 yards. Did a good job, got leads off of it. Hated it. Took a week to do a 2-day opening house. I knocked on doors. I'm in Florida. It gets hot as hell. I hated it. I did everything that I could possibly do. I did mail outs. I did postcards. Never got anything off of that mail out stuff. I signed up for homes.com, Zillow, and a couple others. Never got nothing out of it. Just all garbage leads because 20,000 other agents are doing it. And then one of the guys in the office introduced me to cold calling, showed me his routine of his day, how simple everything was. He gets up, he goes to the gym, takes a shower, he goes to breakfast, he goes into the office, he's on the phone till 12 o'clock. At 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, he goes to lunch, he comes back. If he don't have an appointment, he goes back to the phones. If he's got an appointment, he sets an appointment 2:30, and then he goes to the appointment, does that. And his life is a routine. It's simple. It's non-brain, no thinking, just do. So when he introduced that to me and I started trying it, and I was reluctant for about 3 years with it, I finally got into it and it clicked in, and it's like, oh, this is easy. I don't have to think. I can sit at home. It doesn't cost me $3,000 a month, and I just make phone calls. I think I pay $175 for Mojo, $100 for Land Voice, $25 for the smart number, $85 for my cell phone number, and that's it. That's my overhead for the month. So for me, I found that cold calling, once I got over it and got into it. So can I ask a question?
Sure.
Why are you afraid of calling?
I'm not afraid, but it's more of like just disinterested.
Why don't you like it?
I don't know. It's probably more of I don't like the rejection or the non-answers and things like that. I'd probably prefer the warm welcome, but I think that'd be everybody.
So my way through that, I had another coach train me, was if they tell you no and they cut you out and they hang up on you and you bump into them an hour later at Home Depot, they're not going to know who you are. When you call them back next month, they're not going to remember you. They're never going to know you. Now, when they do know you, it's a different story, because now, and this is true, it's happened to me, now they're in the frame of mind, they're interested in what you're telling. They're not rejecting you, they're rejecting the fact that you're bothering them. So as I told Gina before, I changed my cold calling script. So, hi, this is Michael Usry with eXp Realty. Now you got to go a lot slower. First, let me apologize for disturbing you. And let me get to the point. My purpose of calling is to see if you have any interest in selling your house, ever. And then I shut up. They say, nope, click. What I'm looking for, my frame of mind, the way it got me to be able to do this is I'm looking for them to say no. I want the no, and I want it right now. I don't want to get chit chat. I don't want to wait 10, 15 minutes later. I want it now because there's somebody else waiting on my help, and I want to find that person. So if I can get that no really quick, I can move on, because I'm going to call them again in a month or two. So that's what helped. But that's what helped me get over that stuff. And then when I realized, man, I get up, I go to breakfast, You know, at night, when we hang up, I'm starting my phone calls at 9 o'clock until 12 o'clock. And that's all I do. Don't answer the phone or nothing. Then I call everybody back. But once I got into that routine, it was like, I don't have to think about what I'm doing today. I know in the morning time exactly what I'm doing. And it made my brain easy. That makes sense?
Yeah. I
But
got
for
you.
me, the calling is what works for me. It may not work for you, but if it's a fear or the hesitation or the rejection, you know what? You're not that old. Suck it up, because you're going to be rejected all your life. You just got to get over it and let it go.
All right. Thank you, Michaels, both of you. Shirley, you had something on a website to find the mortgage information.
Yes. One time, I don't know what site it was, but it would give you almost like the tax information. Would give you the name, the address, the taxes. Also, too, it would give you the mortgage amount and the company, what bank they were using.
So I know we have that on the team for free, but not our team stuff. Do you guys have another? Because Shirley, you're not on the team, right? I don't think you are.
No.
I thought so. Okay. So do you guys have something that you know about that is not one of our team things?
RPR has a lot of that.
Yeah, our MLS has a tax data section. Well, it won't tell you the mortgage payoff, but it will tell you if they took out a mortgage, what they paid for it, what bank it was with, when it was, and how much it is.
The original.
The original. Mhm.
Yeah, so you can kind of do the math and figure out where they are based upon how many years ish.
Yeah, ish. You can do like look at it in a amortization schedule and kind of guesstimate how much they owe on it.
Yeah.
And then we have access. We can send you a link of a person in the Philippines that does skip tracing. So that meaning that she can look up, if you give her the address and the name of the person, she can look up emails and phone numbers.
Right. Well, I was wondering what would what site would give you the name, address, and the mortgage amount in the bank?
I don't
The
know.
tax data.
Yeah, the tax data is going to be the best way to do it. Most MLSs have access to that tax data and it will have that mortgage information in there, but then RPR would be your next best.
Yeah.
Right. Well, tell
neither
you
one
how
of
much.
those- If neither one of those have it, I would go to my favorite title person and I would say, this is what I'm looking for, because they have tons of data in title.
Item. Okay. No, we have the tax information on the MLS and everything, but
Right.
it says the mortgage, amount that they originally took out and everything, but it doesn't give you the good information that I'm looking for. What bank it was, and things like that. Because some
You
are.
can-
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You can find that information if my first question would be why you're doing that much research up at the beginning, but you can find that information if you go to the tax records, clerk of the court, and not everybody, but like in Florida here they do. You can pull up the mortgage documents and you can see the interest rate and everything on that mortgage doc.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, but a lot of times, see, I look for like mixed use, and what I'm looking for really is the mortgage and the mortgage company, because sometimes they're if they owe a lot on it, then I wouldn't approach them, if they wanted to sell or something.
Yeah,
So
the
if they had a lot paid off, or a small mortgage amount, they may want to sell. And, they can make a profit on it.
Well, you're not on the team, you said?
Right. So she's not got
No.
access to our stuff where we've got,
Okay.
we've got it all at our fingertips.
So would you like that information? We can have a talk and I can get you on the team here. I'll help you out.
Love it. Awesome. Nellie, what's your question, sweetie? Or you got your hand up very patiently?
Yeah, I wanted to know about the cell phone. I mean, email address. Should I put my personal email address on my business card? Is that what you
Guys,
guys?
feedback on that one.
I didn't, just because of of my kids, teachers. I didn't want my business stuff drowned out by my personal stuff. So I created another email. So you can do that in Gmail. You could do nelly.realtor@gmail.com if you wanted to do that. And that's a free way of doing it.
I have several emails. I have us3michael@gmail.com for all my real estate. Then I have us3realtor@gmail, realtorus3@gmail, and those are for other issues in real estate. And then I have a junk mail, and then I have two
Mhm.
personal mails. One of my personal mails is nothing but bills, and the other one is for other personal stuff that I deal with, keep all the riffraff out. So it's easy to manage while we're on the phone and stuff like this. I go click through it every morning. But if you got a personal email that you use for your personal belongings, no. Gmail is the easiest I have found to use, set up. It works about all the platforms. You got you can get a phone number on it, you got your photos on it, you got your database, and everything is right there for Gmail extensions. It works with PDFs, the whole 9 yards. So if you
And
set it up, it works.
KV4. So you can link your email to KV4, and when you send when you're in KV Core and you've sent a client some mail in your Gmail, when you link them, it'll show up in KV Core. So when you call people out of your database in KV Core, you literally see all your communication.
Correct.
And if you use your personal one, you know, if you go down the line and you get an assistant, you know, you'll have
There's
them
definitely that. There's
your
definitely-
personal stuff, because like my personal email is like for my bank and things like that. So I like to keep them separate, my financial, banking, and my business.
KV Core gives you an email. So I don't even.
Yeah,
It'll get.
Yep.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Good. It'll give you an email for them. I use that email, but it's all directed to my personal. It's all directed to my
Resident.
personal. To
Your
my
business.
business email. Thank you, sweetie.
Right, another email
Um,
that is connected.
Yeah,
for
so look, here's what one of my coaches told me. Think of your business like your taxes. You don't want to commingle your money. So keep your business and your personal totally separate.
So what I did was I created Gina as my agent, and I did that for a bunch of reasons because people could never remember my name and keep me separate. And so I created that. And then everything feeds into my personal email. And I have one email account that I check, but all my other emails feed into it. When I became a team leader, it's Gina's my TL. Gina's my coach is another one that I have. Now Gina's my hero because my husband made a joke with it. And when I had an assistant, she had access to the Gina is my agent. That was my business one. And then we created another one called something like crap Gina has to pay attention to at gmail.com or something like that. And she would forward the really important stuff that needed me, went to that email. And that's the only one I checked. And the assistant had the control of the agent one. So that's what I
The
did.
reason I asked these questions because earlier you guys were saying, make sure your personal email is used because if you leave a company, the email will come to you.
Good question. What we mean is like, don't tie your address to nellygibbs@berkshirehathaway.com. nellygibbs@kellerwilliams.com. Don't tie
My
it
bad.
like that. Yeah, tie it. It's yours. It's a Gmail. You own the account. So nobody can lock you out of it and nobody can take it away from you because you own it. It's still a business account you've set up versus maybe a personal account you've set up. So maybe you have just Nelly Gibbs at Gmail and, you know, Nelly is my agent at Gmail or Realtor Nelly or whatever it is you want over there. And that's what we're talking about. So you still own
So your Nelly Gibbs 99 at Gmail, use that for your personal and then create another Gmail for your business. You create it.
I understand.
Yep,
Okay.
and then you can forward everything into, if it, because it makes it easier for me to have, and that's just my personal preference, that everything forward into one email. So I'm only checking one email, and the rest of it I can use for garbage or whatever I want to use. So,
KV Core gives you an email, which I didn't know, and then they will connect it to my personal business one that I will create, right?
yep.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
All
And then,
right, guys.
When I,
Michael, usually I would need your help with learning how to sell.
Suri, and he's gonna
Just-
kick my butt for everybody calling you that now. Sorry, sweetie.
Just just message me if you need me. Call me.
All right, you all have a fabulous Wednesday. And I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And on Friday, we got something really cool planned. So go sell a house.